Hello, Noob Watchmakers. Welcome. My friend Tony found this old Tissot watch while traveling in Bari, Italy, and it's a little bit beat up, but he liked the vibe. And now he's about to move from Berlin to Hanoi. So before he leaves, I'm fixing it for him. It's kind of a fresh start for the watch, too. So I hope this becomes a nice restoration. And let's check it out, how it runs, first of all. So the watch was running, sort of. And as you can see, the dots are all over the place, means that it's not ticking consistently. So I tried to remove the watch hands first, and see if it improves a little bit. But no, it definitely needs a service. So I have to figure out how to remove the dial. And oh, it just comes off like that. It was totally detached. And I figured that the pins, which is supposed to be on the dial, have been broken completely. So I did some research and I figured that the dial actually sits on the movement with just a friction fit. So there is no pin, screw, or anything like that. It's supposed to just go in and hold by itself. And also there's no button or anything like that in order to loosen the crown. So you have to remove the entire keyless works by unscrewing it, and in order to remove the crown. So now I'm just removing the movement finally after removing the keyless works and the crown. From here and on is same as other hand-on watches. Now I'm removing the cannon pinion like so. And I continue to disassemble the watch. This is the ring that holds the movement within the case. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. Before taking the movement apart, I'm letting the mainspring unwind because if there is any tension in it, parts can fly out or get damaged during disassembly. And I've done this many times in my previous videos, so this just keeps everything safe and under control. Here I am removing the click spring very carefully, and the crown will also get disassembled. This is the main bridge that holds the pivots of the wheels. This is a barrel bridge. This is a in-house Tissot movement, which makes it interesting. Also, this part right here is a lever that works for hacking mechanism of this watch. Which hacking means when you pull the crown out, the second hand stops. So you can set the time to the second very accurately. And most modern watches come with this function, but this watch was made in the late 60s, I believe. So it's a really cool feature that this watch has. And upon reading this caliber 781's technical guide, which lists all the parts included in this movement and the part numbers, I found out that this watch has 17 joules, which is typical for the handwheel movement. And here I remove the broken dial pins, and now I am sort of inspecting. It's just a piece of plastic because the dial is made of plastic, which is, I think, is pretty cool, but yeah, I guess it's less durable. And the width of the pin was around 0.9 millimeters, so I remember that for future reference when I repaired the dial. And now I am cleaning all the watch parts in the watch cleaning machine. In the meantime, I am searching the movement specifications online, and I found out that this movement uses the mainspring size of 1.2 millimeter, height 9.5 millimeters, diameter. So I am disassembling the mainspring to check the end type of this mainspring, which has this sort of a hook, as you can see. This is the normal Swiss tongue end, and there are so many different types of tongue ends, and usually, as you can see on eBay, this is the normal tongue end, and I have ordered this particular mainspring, which is almost identical to the original, and which will just serve fine in this purpose. So I have replaced the mainspring to a new one because who knows, maybe the watch was never serviced and maybe the mainspring is 50 years old. It still works, but I wanted to make sure that the watch works without a problem for the next years to come. Here I am assembling the movement again with the cleaned watch parts. It's sparkling and shiny. If everything goes according to plan and I don't damage any parts while during the restoration, then the watch will run very well, I think. I hope. And here it is. There's a barrel bridge to hold the barrel in, and the rest of the wheels go in, and this is a main bridge to hold the pivots of these wheels. And I tap it a little bit so that the pivots fall into the jewel holes, and now it's engaged, so I can secure it with the screws. And here goes the spring. I always hold it down with a rubber tip tool like that so that it doesn't fly out. This is the barrel wheel, or do you say ratchet wheel? And here's a winding pinion and the sliding pinion. And here is my very big mistake. Do you see the problem here? I am going to just assemble it without knowing what I did wrong. And this is the last puzzle of the keyless works called setting lever spring. And the next is to install the cannon pinion back. And as you heard the click, it did not actually go all the way down. As you can see, they're not engaged. So you have to make sure that it's aligned first, and then you push it down. Otherwise, cannon pinion's teeth can damage the minute wheel's teeth, which is made of softer materials. So you gotta be careful when you push it down. And it's best to use a loop or something like that just to check whether they're aligned or not. Here's a balance wheel. Now I'm winding the watch by turning the ratchet wheel and give a little bit of air, and it runs, but the amplitude seems to be quite low, so I'm going to now clean the jewel. I'm using Rodico to remove the entire Incabloc, and as you can see, there's some dust on the flat jewel cap, so I am using isopropyl alcohol and Rodico to remove and clean the surface first. And after that, I use a 9010 Möbius low viscosity watch oil, and I assemble the Incabloc and pop it back in. All I have to do is to close the lyre spring, and now let's check whether the amplitude improves. I think it's quite dramatic actually. the difference is the balance wheel is moving a lot better at a higher amplitude. So I had to regulate the stud in order to come to this state, daily rate at about plus 2 seconds, and bit error is 0.2, which is excellent. At a flipped state is also running really well, so I'm going to leave it at that. But I totally forgot about this. I don't even know how to call this. It's for hacking lever. So I just disassemble the bridge and then edit that and close it back in. Yeah, it wasn't much of a detour, so it was okay. But I have to remember better next time. Now I'm going to measure the diameter of the bezel, the inside diameter bezel, which is 27.5 millimeters. So I'm just buying a glass that is slightly wider because it's pressure fit. It's made of acrylic plastic, so I just ordered that glass because this watch did not come with the glass. I'm sure it did, but when Tony bought it in Bari, I think Tony mentioned that the glass was on and somehow he lost it. And well, I don't know what happened, but anyway, when I got it, there was no glass. So this is actually part of the repair kit that I bought from AliExpress. These small sort of brass pins came with the kit. So I thought I could just use this pins, modify it to the right length. I'm also nipping the side off so that it doesn't stick out. And I'm just using the Loctite epoxy EA3430, which I had a lot of luck with. I mean, it's a really nice epoxy, structural epoxy that holds the components very well. So I just applied it. It's a two-part epoxy, so I have to mix it first. So I'm putting it on top of the glass and mix it really thoroughly. And I dab just a little bit on the top of the these pins, and I will place the dial on top of it so that the pins can attach to the dial. And after about 20 minutes it starts to harden, so before it completely hardens I take it out and then I fine-tune, I realign the pin so that it's in the right position. And the next step is to look at the hands of this watch, which is really beat up. As you can see, it's bent, and the looms have been completely degraded, I think. So I am removing the looms first, which is a glow-in-the-dark material. And I don't assume this is a radioactive. You know, it's from the late 60s. So I still do take caution, but I think it's okay not to work inside the liquid. So I'm going to just wash it off like that with the distilled water. And once washed, you can see the kink more clearly. So I'm just using the flat end stake to push it down. And as you can see, the white paint has been sort of smooshed and looks pretty ugly. And this is the hour hand, which is in a better shape, but still it's a vintage watch, really kind of beat up. So I wanted to repaint these hands, which I've actually not done before. So I got this sort of lacquer paint from Japanese, which is usually it's called Tamiya. I used to make this electric battery operated mini cars when I was in elementary school. It's a company that makes a lot of model making kits, and they're known for their quality, so I just bought one. I didn't know what watchmaker would use, but I knew that the paint has to be durable and also has to be not so viscous. It has to be fluid enough so that it can level on its surface, nice and flat on such a small surface like a watch hand. And I read the description and it says it's pretty fluid, so I got this and I'll see how it works. And after using acetone to remove the old paint, I am now mixing the lacquer paint. I dab it a little bit on top of, and then I use the toothpick, the end of the toothpick, to apply the paint. I bought the smallest brush available, but it was still too big, so I think this method will work okay. As long as the paint is fluid enough, it will sort of level out. So once it's dried, I am now mixing the luminescent material, which is called the Loom. It's called Super Luminova. I mix the powder form with glue, and then I just dab it here where the hole is. Due to surface tension, the liquid does not seep through. It just stays on the surface like that. So now it's finished. Let's take a look how it looks. I think it's so much cleaner than before, and I didn't want this white paint to be glossy. I want it to be matte, which is I think how it used to be as original, and I really like the result and I'm pretty satisfied. I think it could be better, to be honest. Like if you look at it with a microscope, maybe there are some blemishes. It's not perfectly flat like factory made, but for my use I think it was okay. What kind of paint do you use in this kind of restorations? If you have any suggestions, please let us know and it will help us a lot. I looked it up online and I didn't know what watchmakers would use in this case, and so here's another Loctite thread locker. I found out that the crown and the stem, it gets detached quite easily, so I put a little bit of this is like a glue to usually to lock bolt and nut together. And after assembling the watch, I tried to set the time, and I felt something unusual. It was really stiff when I turned the crown. And this is exactly where I made a mistake, putting the setting wheel upside down. As a result, sort of rounded edge of the setting wheel clipped the entire teeth of the minute wheel. So this minute wheel, and some parts actually broke off, so it's completely broken off. I had to actually order a new old stock replacement part, and the technical guide really helped here because it showed me the model number of this part. And this is how it should be inserted, the setting wheel. Not upside down, but flat edge like that. Should face upwards. And yeah, it feels so much smoother now. The setting wheel was a problem. So when you push it in, the watch runs, and that's how the hacking mechanism works. And it seems fine, and the new glass arrives, so I am using this Bergeon glass setting tool. So you basically put the new glass on top of, or old glass, doesn't matter, on that adapter, and then you squeeze the side of the glass, so the entire diameter of the outer diameter of the glass will slightly be narrowed, and you can put it in and then loosen the pressure so that glass expands within the bezel of the case, so it feels nice and tight, waterproof. And I just have to click the bezel in. It's quite straightforward. And I figured that the watch lock width of the case for the strap is about 90 millimeters. So I bought the compatible leather strap for it. And here it is. It's finished. And on the Timegrapher, it also looks okay. I think The daily rate used to be like plus 2 seconds, but then now it's plus 14. I think I'm happy with that, with this movement. I really like the, I don't know, burgundy or this orange dial. It's very sporty and casual. And it's a really nice watch that Tony picked. And I hope the best for Tony's next chapter in his life. Good luck, and thank you all for joining me today. See you in the next one. Bye bye.